everybody, today I'm going to be reading a story named Sun. So let's get started. It was a bright sunny Sunday morning. My school friends and I had planned to enjoy the day at the beach. I was the first to arrive at the beach because my house is so close to the beach. It takes hardly 5 minutes for me to reach to the beach from my house, whereas my school friends were traveling from different places, but they all were staying around 5-10 miles away from this beach. As I was waiting for my friends, I was thinking for some ideas or any activity to utilize my time with while waiting for my friends. I love making sandcastles at the beach, so I immediately started to build one, as this was a perfect idea at this moment. As I was busy playing in sand to build a nice sandcastle, suddenly I noticed a large shadow covered the beach that apparently made me look towards the sky. Oh no! What's that? I heard some voices nearby, people who were standing near me at beach and looking towards the sky. I too looked at the sky and saw a large rectangular board up in the sky which had almost covered the sun. Board had a message written on it which read there will never be any sunrise after today's sunset. Though I could see the large shadow made by the large board, the sun was still shining as usual in the sky. There was no change in the sun's appearance, and it was still a sunny day. I looked at the faces of people around me who were certainly frightened by this new development. I found myself surrounded by so many surprised and scared faces that made me feel even more scared. I was still wondering if it is really happening. I just wanted to make sure that this is all real. So I pinched my hand so hard that it almost screamed. A bit due to pain, there were no doubts. Whatever I was experiencing, along with so many other people, everything was true. Like everyone around me, I was also shocked and scared. I was too eager to listen to people talk. Sudden unexpected events always trigger various kind of rumors and illogical, unexplained theories. I heard someone saying, now there will not be no gravitational force on Earth, and Earth will roam around space and finally will collide with some other planet, and with a great explosion, everything will be finished. Someone said our planet will start to freeze slowly as there will be no sunlight to maintain the required temperature for lives to sustain on Earth. Slowly, within a week or two, there will be no life on Earth. Someone said, let's take it easy, because we often hear some tittle-tattle about our Earth. Few months back, I had read somewhere that that an asteroid or a comet comet will slam into Earth and it would destroy our planet, Earth. But nothing of that sort happened. The very next day, everything was as usual and normal. I am sure this time too, everything will be normal. I was still looking at the large board on the sky. As it was still there, I said to myself, this time we're not watching TV or reading any newspaper. It is happening right in front of our eyes. So this can never be untrue. I was so scared that I forgot about my friends and our plan to chill out at the beach. I started to run towards my home as fast as I could. I was running like an athlete to inform about this incident to my parents. While running, I just recalled my teacher's words about the sun. She had said in class, sun is the ultimate source of energy. Human, animals, plants, and trees are all dependent on sun for their existence. Earth is the only planet in our solar system where life exists. Because it is at the right distance from the sun, it is protected from harmful solar radiation by its magnetic field. It is warm and it has air and water. In no time, I was at home. I saw my dad, who was sitting in our car. He was probably ready to go somewhere. I rushed to him quickly and said, Dad, I urgently need you to talk to you. Dad nodded in response and said, I have a message for you too. Your friends are not coming to the beach today. I just got a phone call from one of your friends' dad. He told me that because of this unexpected news, the postponed the plan for because of this unexpected news, the postponed the plan for next Sunday. If everything gets back to normal, they will plan for next Sunday. My dad was in a hurry, so he left in his car. I ran inside the house and went to see my mother. She was busy searching something. I had never seen my mother in such a hurry. She looked quite worried. Generally, my mother is cool, calm, composed, and decent by her nature. I had never seen her in such a rush ever before. She had scattered the stuff on the floor and the kitchen platform while searching for something. And now the kitchen was a complete mess. I went near her and I asked, Mother, what are you looking for? She gave me a perplexed look, but she did not say anything. She continued with her work. I was getting restless. I said, Mother, I have something very important to say. She handed me a basket that was full of all sorts of candles and said, keep it on the dining room table. I am coming over there to talk to you. I startled. Why so many candles? Whispered to myself. After about an hour, Dad came back home. He had probably gone to buy groceries and other necessary stuff for the house. As he entered the house, he With so many shopping bags, he settled down on the sofa and called my mother and said, there was a huge crowd in the shop. People are panicking and rushing to buy food, other important things. It's a mad rush in the market. I could buy just some stuff, but still I could not get many things. As shops started getting emptied rapidly, and people are buying stuff impatiently. I had never seen such a big queue ever before in the shops. People are queuing for over a mile outside the mall. People everywhere just talking about the board which appeared in the sky. Everyone seemed to be asking the same question with each other, but no one seemed to have an accurate answer. Every person around us has same worries, and everyone was wondering if this terrible news is going to turn into reality. But no one really was sure how to answer to this question. People were waiting eagerly to see what's going to happen next. I could not control my curiosity and asked my dad, "What happened, Dad? What truth are you talking about? I have also heard about the huge board hovering over a nearby beach where it's written that there will never be any sunrise after today's sunset." "Is it really true, Dad?" Dad hugged me tight and said, "Oh, Tina, my little baby, do you know about the board in the sky and the information mentioned on the board?" I was completely shaken with Dad's words, so I could only nod my head in response. I asked Dad, "What will exactly happen if the sun really sets forever today?" Dad came to me and said, "No one knows what will happen exactly. It seems like we may witness some sort of disaster pretty soon, or things might get worse in coming days. We still don't know much about our universe and the role of the sun in the universe. Things are correlated to each other. We must never assume anything when it's about nature. Moreover, sun is at the center of the universe, so its role is most essential than anything else. We may not imagine anything individually. In nature, everything is correlated to each other. Nature is all about balancing, and things are helping each other in nature so that life can sustain and flourish on our earth. Each thing in nature has its role to perform, and everything is equally important in nature. Dad's words reminded me of one of my teacher's lessons where she was explaining us about ecological balance. How easily she had explained us that how we depend on each other in nature for food, water, air, and other basic needs of life to exist. She did explain about the food chain with the help of some diagram. Sun that helps make plants or like a tree. Goat eats the leaves, and then the lion eats the goat. So that's how we share nature. We help each other to survive. How trees prepare their food and how they play a vital role to maintain the ecological balance. Trees help to clean the air we breathe through their leaves and bark. They absorb harmful pollutants and release clean oxygen for us. I was going through the flashback of all those classes. I felt like I do know something about nature. I was so grateful to my teacher for teaching us such an important but complex subject with such an ease. After lunch, Dad was glued to the TV to watch news. Mother, too, after finishing her lunch, she went to the living room and sat along with Dad to watch news. I was not in a mood to have my lunch anymore, so I couldn't finish my food and joined my parents to watch news. I was also curious to know if that board is still there, still hanging in the sky over the beach where I had seen it. It was still hovering hovering over the beach. Moreover, TV was still broadcasting news about the same incident. I was wondering how nice it would have been for if our son probably have some sort of eraser so it can erase whatever unwanted obstacle comes its way, like we kids do almost every day. In our notebooks, we erase our mistakes and correct it by writing the right stuff back in our notebook. My parents were busy watching the news on TV, but my eyes were constantly monitoring the clock on the wall. Today, time was flying so fast, and with each past minute, we were getting closer to the sunset. I have always noticed one thing. Time shows its importance only when we're experiencing crisis of time. Today was no different. I had the feeling that today every minute was passing like a second, and clock's needle was completing its run faster than any other day. Finally, it was 5 p.m. and we were just about to witness the sunset and the mystery that was about to be unfolded in near future. Suddenly we heard loud phone ring sound. Dad looked at my mother and said, "Please pick up the phone." Today, this phone ring sounded to me like I heard the loud bomb explosion near my ears. Mother nodded in response. We all rushed hurriedly to the table where phone was kept. We took a deep breath to calm ourselves. Dad looked at Mom first, and then he picked up the phone. It was our neighbor's phone call. He informed us that all our community people were gathering up at the beach to see the final sunset. Dad said, "Okay, we'll be there soon." My dad hung up the phone and continued to watch news. A little while later, we got ready and headed towards the beach. As beach is quite near my house, we decided to walk to the beach. While walking towards the beach, my mother saw some of her friends and she waved her hand to them. My mother told my dad with tears in her eyes, "Today I am not at all excited to see the sunset, though I just love to watch sunsets almost every day." She looked at the sky again just to be sure if the board is still there. She found the board is still hovering over the sky, right above our heads. Dad held Mother's hand and said, "Have some patience. We must stay positive and have patience when we are in a situation where we have nothing much to do than rather just waiting and watching what is going to happen next." Soon we were standing at the beach. We were surprised to see huge crowd at the beach. In fact, beach was full of scared faces. All the people were just staring at the sunset. Crowd had maintained complete silence. Some kids were whispering to each other. I was just carefully looking at the facial expressions of my parents and people around us. Everyone around us looked scared and their eyes had some questions. Some people were totally numb and appearing to be lifeless. My dad could not resist his thoughts to himself and said to my mother, "You know something, when we don't realize our roles and responsibilities towards nature and act accordingly, nature punishes us in some strange manner. Nature's most precious gift of God to give all living creatures in this entire world. We should always try to keep it clean and healthy." Her mom nodded her head in response and hold Dad's hand in her hand. Sun was about to set. I took a glimpse of all people standing around us. Some had tears in their eyes, and some of them were standing like zombies, like no life was left in them anymore. I really wanted to solve everyone's problem. I feel terrible when I see someone's teary eyes. So I started to think, what can I do to help solve this problem? And this is when the idea of eraser again popped in my mind. I turned my face to my dad and whispered my idea of eraser in Dad's ear. Dad listened to my idea and he smiled. He hugged me in response. As we were lost in our conversation, suddenly we all heard a loud sound. We were just looking at each other as all of us were unsure what kind of sound it was. Though it was a loud sound, yet somehow I felt like a sound of a light bulb which explodes at times when it gets high voltage current. Eventually, darkness started to scatter everywhere. Dad held my mother's and my hand when it started to get darker. Very soon, there was a complete darkness at the beach. I was really shocked when I found myself in deep darkness. I tried very hard to adjust my eyes in the darkness so I could see my parents, but it didn't work. I couldn't see my parents. I got scared and screamed loudly, "Where is the sun?" Dad hugged me and said, "Don't worry, Tina. We are here with you." Suddenly, I heard knock on glass window of my bedroom, which is just close to my bed. It woke me up. I was just trying to figure out what kind of sound it was. And that was when I saw a cute little bird was hitting the glass of my window with its beak. I found myself all sweaty and my hands were shaking like a leaf. Though now I was fully awake, my mind was not completely out of the horrible dream I'd seen last night. My curious eyes looked outside the window to have a glance of sun and to make sure the huge bird I had seen in the sky in my dream is not there. As usual, I saw a bright sun was rising in the sky, and bird was not there in sky near our sun. It brought a broad smile on my face. I jumped out of bed and ran to the terrace to welcome the sun. I had always enjoyed my morning hours seeing the rising sun from my terrace, but I had never felt the excitement that I was feeling today. I was feeling quite excited today. Today's sunrise was so special for me. I was welcoming the sun with a new mindset, whatever be the reason. I am very happy I understood the importance and sun in nature. And now I had understood quite well how everything is interrelated to each other in the universe. I may never forget my dad's words. Nature is the most precious gift of Almighty. I made a promise to myself I will plant trees in my house. And most importantly, I'll try to encourage my friends, family, and community members to plant trees so that more and more trees could be planted. That was the story of the sun. I hope you understood the importance of the sun. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it with